All right, I've owned this truck long enough here. For about 6-7 months now to make a good review about it. I figured I would wait a little bit here to make a good review because I wanted to see the long-term reliability here of it. For those of you who can't tell, this is a Ram 1500 Laramie package with the air suspension. A little leveling kit here that I added to level it out. It's on normal mode right now. This is the Sport package with the off-road group, which adds 1 inch of ground clearance on all settings. It does come with the Sport hood suspension and the front-facing camera, which I think is a must for these trucks. I mean, this is a large shop I'm in, and this is a very large truck. I had a 17 Night Edition before this, and this truck is quite clearly a lot larger than the truck I had before. I really like it so far. There are some pros and cons to this truck compared to my old one. The first con almost being the design. I'm not totally sure whether I like this design as much as the 4th generation of these Ram 1500s. I honestly prefer the back end style of the 14 or the 13 through 19 or 18, I should say, rather than this design here. The hood is pretty cool. The front is pretty cool. I had big Ram lettering on the back of mine since mine was a Night Edition. Now there's big Ram lettering on the front of this truck here. I would say though, it's a tough choice here. I do like the color of this. I had a gray one, a granite crystal metallic before. This is a Delmonico red. I really do like this color. It's classy. It really looks well with these 20-inch fuels that I have on here. Cleaver design with the BF Goodrich TAKO2s. I'll show you the sticker price of this truck when it was new. I did add new tires onto this, so you're looking at a little over $1,000 there. I bought this used, of course. I did add a Gibson exhaust, which I do love. I'll start it up here again. 5-inch exhaust tips here. It's got a really cool rumble over the stock exhaust. It is a Laramie. When I bought it, it came blacked out like this, but it is a sport package, so all this would actually be chrome. It would have came with the stock 20-inch rims. Eventually, I want to get this to what the Rebel or the new Night Edition has on there. But overall, I really do like this truck. It came with every single option a Laramie could have. And when I bought this, it was a toss-up whether I bought a Laramie or a Limited, because I wanted all the features that were on this Laramie. The one thing I didn't know until I bought it, what it had was the off-road package, which lifts it up another inch, and then I threw a leveling kit on there. So it looks really, really sweet. I did add the air deflectors on it. It does have the e-torque, which I live in a place where it is snowing all the time. All the time. That is a golf course. I do own a golf course. So, and of course you can see hills. I live in the backwoods of Wisconsin here. I don't use the e-torque very much. Yeah, it's nice for the added power. It's nice for the stop and go when I go into a city, but I don't really use that much. I'm not trying to look to conserve fuel with this vehicle because it does not use fuel very well. I get about in the wintertime doing my back road driving and city driving, it's about 12 miles to the gallon. Not great. I did add a K&N air intake, cold air intake as well, which I'll show you here. Anyway, This is the cab. I just freshly detailed this truck. It's a pretty sweet interior. The one positive note I have about this truck here is, so like I was saying, the one positive note about I have with this truck, the interior of this is second to none. I've been in a lot of other brands of trucks, Chevys, GMCs, other Rams for that matter, and Fords too. This interior is second to none. Now, granted, I do have some gripes about it. Yeah, this isn't soft to the touch. It's soft, but it's like a soft, hard plastic. You can see I can push down into it, but it's not like a Limited. But again, this isn't a Limited either. It's a Laramie. It's a pretty sweet truck here. I just wish it was taken to that next level. I wish the seats were bolstered, like my Night Edition. This is more designed for your larger type person, which Ram, hey, their market, that's what they're after. Smaller guy like me, hey, that's not my type of seat. My 17 Night Edition was pretty bolstered. Pretty bolstered on the sides, pretty bolstered on the seat sides too. Both up and down were bolsters pretty well. The one thing I do like about this truck though, the rear seat space is fantastic. This is awesome. This is like sitting in the back of a large SUV. Everything is really thought out in this interior though. The seats, yeah, they could have been bolstered a little bit more, but this is a sport model, but it's not a TRX. You know, it just isn't a TRX here. Adaptive cruise control, panoramic moonroof. I needed that. That was a must there. But lane keeping, that's a must, especially for me. And the parking feature on this truck as well. Otherwise, this interior is actually really thought out, really quiet for the exhaust that I have on. The exhaust that I have is very, very loud. That's pretty cool there, how it opens and shuts. Everything's soft open, soft close. Here is the sticker price, what the gentleman paid for it. So total price of this truck with options is $65,165. So after you add on the rims, which he bought from the factory, or bought at the dealer, after you add on the rims, the tires, the exhaust, you're looking at about $70,000 for this truck, brand new. And after taxes, yeah, this may get up to about $75,000. Probably about a $72,000-ish truck after all the exterior features are on. But features from the factory, you've got the Monaco Red Pearl Coat, the Sport Appearance Package, which the 20-inch rims are now replaced with 20-inch fuels. So you had another about $2,000-ish, maybe even more onto that price there. The Advanced Safety Group with Adaptive Cruise Control, Advanced Brake Assist, which is really nice. Full Speed Forward Collision Warning Plus, really cool. Lane Departure Warning System, Parallel and Perpendicular Park Assist with Stop. Surround View Camera, which I will let the truck turn on here. It has really nice exit and entry mode on this as well. I thought it's very thoughtful. Seats moves back and forth as you get in and out. It's got the bed utility group, which is sweet. That's a must-see. Off-road group. I didn't know it had this when I bought the truck, but looking back, this is perfect. I love this off-road group. It's got the E-Locker rear axle, which helps a lot. I do a lot of ice fishing here. It's got the front suspension skid plate, the fuel tank skid plate, the full-size spare tire, hill descent control, off-road decals, which I took off, steering gear skid plate, tow hooks, and a transfer case skid plate. So this truck you can take off-road. Not that I do a lot of off-road. I'm going to take off the parking brake here. Perfect. Easy as that. Anyway, I'll show you quick here the surround view camera. This surround view camera is really cool. That is my surroundings. That is my shop. I can see how close I am to everything. You can see how high definition that is. You can even tell the cool accent with the sunroof, which I have. It shows you how close you are to everything. The front, the full back, as in that picture. The full front, you can see the sled, which is all the way over there. And you can see that with this front camera here. You can see just the front, and you can see the back, but in a you can zoom in, but you can see that in a zoomed in way like that. But you can see a lot with these cameras on here. It's honestly very cool. I like the front camera a lot. I like the 2 side cameras on the mirrors. That's a really cool feature there. I should say I got this truck loaded with every option. The one option I didn't get with this was which I may eventually put on, which the buttons would go down a little bit more, would be the automatic side steps. Otherwise, everything else here is loaded. But moving on with this here, the level 2 equipment group, 19 speaker Harman Kardon premium sound. I wouldn't say this is as good as the 9 speaker Alpine sound that I had in my 2017 Night Edition. To be honest with you, yeah, it's active noise canceling, which is sweet, and it reduces noise in the cabin, but it's not as powerful as that Alpine, which, I mean, something like that, when, hey, it's $5,000, that's a lot of money. Not a big fan that it's not as good there. And I even had to have warranty work done on this truck because of the radio not being loud enough. I would have it up to the highest volume, and it would be not even loud enough to where you could carry a conversation over it, basically. Blah, 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 all this stuff. Windshield wipers, front and rear park assist, rain sensitive windshield wipers, all of that. You can read all that. 392 axle, I like that for towing. That was a must. I do tow. 5.7 liter Hemi with the e-torque. The e-torque for $2,645 extra. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. That's probably not worth it, but it does come with the active noise control system, which reduces engine noise. That exhaust that I have on there, the Gibson, is very loud, so I prefer having a quieter cabin, but when I want to give it, I want to hear it, which is pretty sweet. You can do that. But the active noise control is pretty cool with that. I buy used because of features like this here. I don't have to pay that extra almost $3,000 on the sticker. Otherwise, I would say for the back roads driving that I do and the city driving I do, it doesn't save me a lot of gas. You can see right now I drove back from another job here that I work, and I was getting about 15.9. That's not great, not bad. I was going about 65. So not terrible, not bad. The e-torque is really cool in that it adds about, I think, 110 pounds of torque, foot-pound torque, and another 10 to 30 horsepower. I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's pretty cool there. You can definitely feel the pep with this truck with that. And I do have an cool air intake and that exhaust. So you're looking at added horsepower and torque with that as well here. More stuff. The 4-corner air suspension, 26-gallon fuel tank. I wish it was over 30. I'm constantly having to fill up this truck, constantly. Trailer bay control, that's really nice. My parents have a camper. If I ever have to tow it for them, it's pretty sweet. My Ranger boat trailer has that as well. So total price before all of the add-ons here was $65,165. After all the add-ons, you're looking at about $72,000-ish, maybe closer to $75,000 after tax. So that's a lot of money for a vehicle. That is a ton of money. I could have bought a lot of other vehicles for this, even used at the price I pay than this truck here. But it's a cool truck, and I really like it. I love the interior. I even like that they put a lot of thought into this rearview mirror too. It's a very sleek rearview mirror. This whole area up here is pretty sleek and well designed, even over the Gen 4. You see you have all the moonroof controls here. I leave it open all the time. Back seat, spacious, very spacious. The one gripe I have a iPhone Pro Max 13. The wireless charger does not work when you stand it up and down like that. You have to have it sideways for it to work, which is not a big deal. I don't use my phone a lot when I drive. But this is pretty cool here. The 12-inch screen is awesome. There's just so much to do with it here. You could spend forever with the screen, putting it to what you want. There's a lot of customizations with it here. Seat moves back for easy exit. So I like the fuel rims on it. Wasn't sure at first, but I do like them now. I love this color. This color with the black accents on it. The black accents honestly really make this color pop. It's a pretty sweet truck. I like the sport hood on it. I like this here. The only thing I may get is to totally black this out someday. You can see the cameras underneath the mirrors. Otherwise, this truck is really sweet. I loved my gray truck before, but the way the market was going here, I could get into this truck with the same payments I had with my gray truck, and of course, you paid off quicker. But it's pretty sweet. I do have to say I plan on keeping this truck for the long run. I should say the only problems I have had with this truck so far in the 10,000 miles that I've used it over the last 6 months. Yes, I do drive a lot to work, to other jobs that I work here. The only problems I have had with this vehicle have been the 12-inch U-Connect with the speakers not being loud enough. The Harman Kardon, 19 speakers in here. You would expect a little bit more. I had to have warranty work done on that. And B would be the exhaust manifold bolts. This is my third Hemi truck. This is the third time I've had to take it in for exhaust manifold bolts to be replaced. What that essentially does is stop the clicking of the truck when it's running. It's like a click, 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 click type deal. And the exhaust sounds a lot better with that as well. Otherwise, I do have to say I just absolutely love this vehicle. I don't know why. Maybe with the exception now of the new Fords, new Chevys, I could see why now people would be swayed to go there. But I don't see why anybody would want to get a different truck. The power with this truck is untouched, especially with the e-torque. And if you do some mods to it like I did, cold air intake and the exhaust, to name a few. The interior, again, is second to none. Clearly second to none. There's just so much space in this back seat. I don't have many people sit in the back, so I don't need cooled seats. I wish I can get that option in a Laramie. But the interior on this truck, the quality of it is second to none. Everything is just even the rear seat is just thought out and put together. I wish this wouldn't have been such hard plastic here. Wish it would have been more like this soft plastic. But every part of this truck was thought out and put together extremely, extremely well. I do have to say I am thoroughly impressed with this vehicle. I do plan on keeping this for a long time. It has 54,000 miles on it now. I put about 10,000 on it since I bought it in August. I bought it with about 44. So I do plan, like I said, in keeping it. It's a sweet truck, beautiful truck, optioned out. Have to like that. Even simple accents such as the Ram right there. Stellantis really did an excellent job. The Ram LED right there. And the Ram on the front lets you know you're driving a big, mean machine. It's a pretty sweet truck. I do have to say I'm thoroughly impressed with it here. From the air suspension, to the design of it, to the interior, to the hood. I mean, everything. They put a lot of thought into it. So if you're in the market for a new truck or even a used truck, I I've had Hemis for a long time here, for about the last 6-7 years. I have had no engine issues with them whatsoever. And I would definitely recommend this. It's the best of both worlds. The fuel economy isn't that great. It is a truck, of course, so you're not getting it for the fuel economy. The towing with it, that's one thing I want to touch on. The towing with this truck is unmatched with that air suspension. I tow an R-Pod camper sometimes here for my parents to move it. With the air suspension, it automatically levels the truck out to what it was before, so it makes it easier. And I also tow my Ranger boat here, which it does weigh a fair amount. It's a 19-foot boat, so it does weigh quite a bit here, and the truck pulls it with ease. It levels your load out with the payload on it, and it levels the load of the trailer out as well. So as soon as this area right here goes down and shrinks, the air suspension kicks in and it levels it right back out. It is pretty sweet, and I do have to say I love this truck. I wouldn't get a different one. I'm always going to stick with Ram. This has been a fantastic truck so far. So if you guys are ever in the market for a different truck, this would be a truck to look for. Definitely a Laramie or Limited. Even a Bighorn is a really, really good value for what you get now with Apple CarPlay and the new advances in the tech that they have made. Hopefully this helps in your car buying experiences.